get back to the breaking news that we're covering. This is a live news conference that's scheduled to start any moment now in Charlottesville. Sources are telling our Richmond affiliate that Jesse Matthew is in custody. He's wanted in connection with the supposed abduction of Hannah Graham. Longo was the last person to see Hannah. Tom Rousey, our reporter, is there in Charlottesville. Tom, what do you expect we're going to hear from Tim Longo tonight? Tom Rousey's
what sources are telling our Richmond affiliate, Morris, I can tell you, is that Jesse Matthew is in custody right now, out of state somewhere. That being said, I'm hearing this is just about to start, so I'm going to get out of the way here.
Thank you. Good evening. Let me first begin by apologizing for the delay, but there was a very important law enforcement partner that we wanted to share this opportunity with. To my left is Adam Lee. Adam is the special agent in charge of the Richmond Field Office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. You've heard me say for the last week that we've had very critical partners in this investigation, and the FBI was an important part. We're here tonight to announce that because of the collaborative efforts of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and state and local law enforcement across this nation, Jesse Matthew was in custody in Galveston, Texas. Now, we won't go into the circumstances that led to that custody taking place, but by the grace of God and the good work of the Galveston Sheriff's Office, it took place. And so the extradition process is currently underway. And once that comes to a completion, we'll have some additional information to share with you. So we don't at present have any information as to what might have prompted Mr. Matthew to head to that part of the country. And certainly that's something that we'll consider as we go through our investigative process. That might take several days. But much like last night, because we're not at liberty to say but only so much, we're not going to be taking your questions tonight, but we wanted to share the information. I know many of you have heard this almost instantaneously. It started to hit Twitter and other media sources, and we've certainly got your questions over the last hour. Apologize for not being prompt in answering them. We wanted to have some information back and forth shared between us and the FBI, and certainly to give Adam and I the opportunity to let you hear this from us. So once again, I want to express my sincere appreciation to our FBI partners and to the state police that's worked so hard, but particularly to the Galveston Sheriff's Office in Galveston, Texas. I spoke to the sheriff and expressed my appreciation to him and asked that he express that appreciation on behalf of the Grahams to his entire organization. So I'd like to ask Adam to come to the podium very briefly and make some remarks. Mr. Lee.
Good evening. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
The hero of today is an employee, a deputy with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office. So we would like to, on behalf of the FBI, thank them for their very effective police work today. Also want to thank the Chief and the Charlottesville PD. Thank also the Virginia State Police for their partnership. I'm not going to restate what the Chief said, but again, it's a positive close to this chapter of this very important case, and we look forward to more positive developments. Thank you.
Before we leave your company tonight, many of you have received this hard copy of this missing person abduction poster with Hannah's image. I want to call your attention that the generosity of a lot of private citizens in this community have put up these funds as a reward to help us find. This is probably one of you. Just give me 1 second here. Yep, it is. Pardon me. Sometimes even in the worst of situations, you got to be a little lighthearted. You can imagine this has been an extremely difficult time for Virginia law enforcement, and I know for all of you. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate your patience with us. This rewards up to $100,000, and it's to find Hannah. And we're asking every person within the sound of my voice to help us find Hannah Graham. As I said to many of you today, we've made that commitment to Mr. and Mrs. Graham, and we've made that commitment on behalf of an entire community, and we hope that you'll continue to work hard. This case is nowhere near over. We have a person in custody, but there's a long road ahead of us, and that long road includes finding Hannah Graham. We'll be in touch over the next 24 hours, I'm sure, to answer questions that you might have. We'll do our very best to do that, but we won't be doing so tonight. And so thank you for your time. Again, sorry for the wait. And Adam, thank you and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for all the effort that went forth today to help make this possible. Thank you. Thank you all.
Did you provide any information regarding the whereabouts?
And did he surrender?
I'm sorry, Craig.
Did he provide any information regarding the whereabouts of Hannah Graham?
I have no idea. Thank you.
Did he surrender?
All right, so you just heard a press conference there. We got limited details, but one of them was certainly a shocker. As we had been reporting, our affiliates were hearing from sources that Jesse Matthew was in custody, but I think everybody took in kind of a quick breath when he announced that he was actually in custody in Galveston, Texas. I did a quick search. That is over 1,300 miles away from Charlottesville. So if Jesse Matthew did in fact drive there after he was last seen here on Saturday, that's an awfully long drive that he made there. But again, he is in custody now. The person of interest in this case, Jesse Matthew, in Galveston, Texas. He's going to be extradited, it appears, but it could be a process to get him back here to Virginia. And again, that is a very long way. You heard a person with the FBI there say that there is a hero in this case. He said, he didn't say who, but he said it was a deputy with the Galveston County Sheriff's Office down there in Texas. However, did not go into details of exactly how Jesse Matthew was taken into custody. Jesse Matthew, remember again, was wanted initially on 2 counts of reckless driving, and that's the last time police or any law enforcement saw him around here, was as he sped away on Saturday. Apparently from there somehow got down to Galveston, Texas, and it was announced yesterday that in addition to those reckless driving charges, he was also now wanted on another far more serious charge, which was abduction with intent to defile, connected to the disappearance of Hannah Graham. Also there, the police chief, Timothy Longo, announcing that the reward now up to $100,000 to, in his words, find Hannah. So those were the details we just got from that press conference. Obviously major developments. The man they have been looking for 3+ days now, Jesse Matthew, is in custody, but it's down there on the coast of Texas near the Gulf of Mexico in Galveston where he was taken into custody. Back to you, Morris.
Tom, this is bittersweet news because the police department might be criticized for letting Jesse Matthew out from under their thumb because he was being trailed by state police when he had gone to the police department to ask for a lawyer. He was being trailed by the cops. He sped and got away. They broke off the chase, but that was an initial embarrassment, I'm sure. Then we weren't sure if they really knew where he was or not, but this obviously proves to the point that they lost him, and luckily he's shown up tonight in Texas. You haven't heard any more, though, from Chief Longo about Hannah, have we?
We have not, other than him just announcing that announcement that the reward is now up to $100,000. But as far as where she may be, I don't know if you caught it, but on his way out there, one of my fellow reporters yelled at the chief and asked, did he give any information about where Hannah might be? Did he give up any information? The chief not really answering that question, so that's unclear right now, but obviously that's the whole reason, more than anything else, why they want to talk to him, to see if he has the information they need in this case, Morris.
It's been a painfully slow process getting the information they need from the state crime lab, because I think that's one reason why they weren't able to proceed with charges until recently. They just didn't get the information they needed back from the crime lab quickly enough. Even the chief had kind of complained about that. There have been other searches. Do we know where any other where that stands? That the car has been impounded. They've done a couple of thorough searches of Matthew's apartment. Is that about it then?
Well, they did a huge volunteer search over the weekend, Morris. It was a 2-day thing with nearly 2,000 just volunteers from all over this area and beyond, and they were mainly hitting Charlottesville, the city itself, and also areas just outside of Charlottesville. We learned, reporting a couple days ago, when we went to former places Jesse Matthew had lived outside of Charlottesville in Albemarle County, which surrounds Charlottesville. Those are very, very rural places, and we went to former homes he had lived in to try to talk to folks who know him, and everywhere we went, all the houses he used to live in, about 2 or 3 of them, we were told by neighbors that police had been in the area searching. So they've obviously been searching in areas where they know Jesse Matthew has lived in the past, in areas where they know he is familiar with. So that part of the search, from what my understanding is, that part continues. The volunteer search, where they combed much of the city of Charlottesville, that part is over, however, Morris.
Hannah Graham is from this area. As you know, Tom, you've been covering this story from the beginning, and at this hour, the community nearby is planning a vigil at West Potomac High School. Hannah graduated from there in 2013. She hasn't been seen since the 13th. It was a critical role that surveillance cameras along the mall and businesses played in finding her last steps, then putting her with Jesse Matthew. Really, if it weren't for a lot of the merchants and their security cameras, we would be at a dead end by this point.
That's true. Security cameras capturing Hannah Graham as she made her way, confusedly it appeared, from the UVA section of town to the downtown pedestrian mall area of town. And if you're not familiar with Charlottesville, those areas are a good mile or so apart from each other. But Hannah Graham was caught by various businesses' surveillance cameras as she made her way east, basically, to that downtown pedestrian mall, and that's where she suddenly came in contact with Jesse Matthew, per the surveillance video and per witnesses. They went to a bar together early that Saturday morning. Police say they have evidence that they left that bar together, and it's at that point that whatever happened led to the charge by the police that he abducted her with intent to defile. That's the official name of the charge. It was after they left a bar that was just off the downtown pedestrian mall there. But yes, she was caught by a number of cameras. He wasn't caught by as many, but we have showed you that shot a number of times where he walks by one of the surveillance cameras. And there's another shot where it's a little tough to tell, but police believe it's actually him with her in that surveillance shot. And that's when they were making their way to that bar, from which, again, police believe they left together. And that's the last time they can account for Hannah Graham.
Tom Rousey with the very latest, live from Charlottesville after the police news conference wrapped up moments ago. Tom, thank you for that. We've got more live coverage throughout the evening here on News Channel 8. We've got Jay Korf covering this tonight at 10. More live reports from the special vigil at West Potomac High School that they're having right now for Hannah. So keep it here throughout the evening on News Channel 8 as we stay on top of this story. Again, the suspect in the case, the person of interest, Jesse Matthew, has been found and arrested in Galveston, Texas.